I challenge you to a duel.
I don't want to talk to you no more,
You got a lot of nerve.
Soon you will know what it's like to be defeated.
Stop defending him, Sean!
Alright, let's go.
I'm ready for
Welcome, everybody, to the Sleeper Wire Great Debate Show. I am your host, Professor Chris, back this week. Sorry about last week. I had to take the week off. With me today, I have Dirty Jobs Mike back on the show for his first time this season. Mike, how you doing, man?
Not too bad. I'm very excited. I can't believe it's the first time I've been on the Great Debate, and it's already week 4. I was on it all kinds during the preseason, but, well, here we are anyways. I'm very excited either way.
Here we are. And, guys, I got some big news to share. I can finally share this with the world. I'm having a boy. Having a little son coming in April.
Hell yeah. And he's going to name it Dirty Jobs. How cool is that?
First name Dirty, middle name Jobs.
Right. It just goes together nicely, right?
Dirty Jobs more.
There you go.
I like it.
It has a distinctive ring.
Well, I was thinking it's got to be a mix between you and Hoos. So either Dirty Hoos or Profit Jobs.
Profit Jobs sounds pretty good, too. Profit Jobs more.
Profit Jobs more. There we go. Yeah, my wife's going to be thrilled with that.
She'll love it.
She's going to be real happy.
She'll grow to love it.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the show. For those of you guys listening for the first time, what we do here on The Great Debate is have a debate-style argument between two players. We get 2 minutes to argue for our player, 90 seconds for rebuttals, and then we have final thoughts. If you like what you hear today, please go to iTunes or Google Play, drop us a 5-star rating, and leave us a nice review. It truly does help out the show. Today, once again, we have wide receivers. And Mike, I would love to do running backs, but we just haven't had a week yet where there were 2 good running back options off waivers, you know?
It just hasn't been a season for it. You know, the running back position just isn't going away the way it needed to, or where you got the replacements, you're just not that excited about getting them. Like Wayne Gallman, yeah, he lit it up this last week, but let's see what he does against somebody who isn't Washington.
Yeah, and even then, if we'd done Wayne Gallman versus any other running back, Gallman would have hands down won the debate. You know, like there's no way he wasn't the number 1 waiver wire pickup of the week. And right now, as of this recording, we just got news that James Conner headed into the tent holding his hamstring. So honestly, Jalen Samuels, he's the running back pickup of this week. So there really just hasn't been that moment where we have 2 really good running back options off the waiver wire. But we have had a lot of success with wide receivers so far. If you go back and listen to the ones we've done, they've turned out great. And like I said, 2 more wide receivers this week. We are doing Mohamed Sanu versus A.J. Brown. I've got Sanu and Mike has A.J. And Mike, you going to kick us off here?
Yes, I am.
All right, take it away.
Okay, so A.J. Brown. Look, I've been following this guy since he started over in Ole Miss. This kid is fast. He's good. He's huge. 6'1", 226 pounds, and he runs a 4.49 40. And you just kind of got a taste of that speed this last weekend. You saw him breaking away. Man, he was getting like 6-7 yards of separation on that ball when Mariota was finding him. And I really feel like that's a connection that we can start seeing a little bit more of. I think that once you start getting the film down on what this guy was doing to those defensive backs, they're going to start writing him in there more. And I really feel like he's about 10 times a receiver Corey Davis has been. And you started to see like Tennessee start to click. And I know we do this every single year, right? You have Mariota have that one big game where he throws like 4 touchdowns, and then he goes into about a 4 or 5 week recluse, comes back out and does this again. Look, you got Delaney Walker back. You got Henry in the backfield just ripping it up. So this team really actually has the potential to be a game-winning team, and this guy is probably going to be the number 1 receiver there. Because like I said, he outdoes Corey Davis in almost every single category. Just in 10 catches, he's got 223 yards and 2 touchdowns. And that's basically all in one game, right? And that was last week. But week 1, he was 3 for 4 and had 100 yards. So, I mean, this might start to be more of a trend in the positive direction.
With A.J. Brown, this is a guy you're just shooting for the stars. You're either going to hit with a couple huge plays like this last week when he had 3 for 94 and 2 touchdowns, or you can get a one catch for 4 yards game like he put up week 3. He's got a total of 17 targets on the season, only 10 receptions through 4 weeks. He's not getting the targets to be a PPR guy. Plus, he plays on a pretty bad passing offense. Coming up next, he's going against the Bills, who just held the Patriots to 16 points, and the Patriots needed a defensive touchdown to win that game. Then he's at Denver, and then he's got the Chargers. It is not a favorable schedule for a wide receiver at all. He's a guy you can take a flyer on for sure, but A.J. Brown is more of a long-term wait-and-see option. Maybe bye weeks, throw him in if you have to. Whereas I think Mohamed Sanu is going to be someone that you're going to be able to plug into your lineup next week, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a few. All right, so moving over to Mohamed Sanu here. The 8th-year veteran is having a strong start to the 2019 season. When we're looking for wide receivers on the waiver wires, one of the things that we love to see is targets. Sanu has had 6 or more targets each week through the first 4 weeks, which is great for someone who will be your wide receiver 4 or 5, maybe even 6. His target totals have been 6, 7, 6, and 12 targets last week. He's actually 24th in the NFL in wide receiver targets right now with 31 on the season. That's a season-long pace of 124 targets, which would by far surpass his personal best. On his 31 targets, he's got 24 receptions for a 77.4% catch percentage, which is 8th best out of all wide receivers through 4 weeks. Mohamed Sanu has just been solid for 3 of the 4 weeks this season. 5 for 57, 6 for 75, 9 for 91. These are good games for your flex or wide receiver 3 position. He hasn't gotten into the end zone yet, but he is good for 4 or 5 touchdowns a season historically. In PPR leagues, he's right at the wide receiver 40 right now, but he's ahead of Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Curtis Samuel, Josh Gordon, DK Metcalf, Stephon Diggs, Alshon Jeffrey, Will Fuller. This week, he finished as the wide receiver 12, and he was the perfect Sunday morning pickup to replace Terry McLaurin, for instance, like I did in one of my leagues. McLaurin, who was likely in everybody's starting lineup, he was a late scratch due to to his health issue. Sanu played great. He's only 27% owned, so there's a very good chance you can go grab him. He's a great option for bye weeks, which are really about to start hitting in week 6. The Falcons have 13 of their 16 games in domes this season. You know who plays great in a dome? Matt Ryan. You know who benefits from Matt Ryan playing great? The wide receivers, all 3 of them, not just Julio and Ridley.
Okay, so look, I love Mohamed Sanu, or as I like to call him, Mohamed Sanu, because this guy has been around forever, and he's just never been this fantasy relevant guy that you wanted him to be. He's on such a high octane offense, and yet he can never seem to get the job done. He's always supposed to be this number 2. He's always supposed to be this backup guy to Julio Jones, take the attention off of Julio Jones. And the very first thing they do down this guy's career stretch is draft Calvin Ridley, who is like twice as good, twice as fast, how long are you going to ignore somebody with his talent level that came out of the combine the way this guy did? He's gonna get that work back. Mohamed Sanu is gonna do what Mohamed Sanu does best, and that is not score. I love the guy. He's very talented, very fast, and again, a product of a great offense. But with the emergence of people like Austin Hooper and people like that, it's just not going to happen. Julio Jones is getting touchdowns now. So, I mean, there just isn't really the room to give it around. Like, that's where on the difference of the 2 guys is like you don't have the options. You don't have the target share. You don't have the red zone share. Devonta Freeman's back. I mean, you've got the whole entire team firing on all cylinders, all without Mohamed Sanu, just like they always have been.
All right, guys, before we move into final thoughts, today's show was sponsored by the great memorabilia site PristineAuction.com. They have hundreds of new auctions every single day. Everything is JSA certified, so you know what you are getting is 100% authentic. It's free to join and free to bid, and you only pay when you win the auction. When you sign up, enter promo code SLEEPERWIRE, and you'll get $5 off your first purchase. Visit pristineauction.com today. That is PRISTINE auction.com. Let's move into final thoughts. Mike, give me your final thoughts on A.J. Brown.
Okay, so Marcus Mariota's biggest issue has always been his confidence. His talent level has always been there. He just can never seem to keep it going because something, it's usually an injury or something to that effect, that just knocks him back a peg or two. Look, we're talking about the difference between a number 1 wide receiver or a number 3 wide receiver. If A.J. Brown gets out there on the field and this offense can start firing off on all cylinders, it's game over. I mean, he's going to be the wide receiver 1 for that team. He is by far the best talent, the youngest talent that's out there. And if Mariota can just keep on connecting, it's going to grow his confidence level. And you know what? Tennessee isn't going to have that bad of a team. They've got a really good defense. All that they got to do is start getting these pieces to slide together, and they're going to be dangerous.
Taking it back to Mohamed Sanu here, coming up, the Falcons, they have a kind of favorable schedule when it comes to wide receivers in the passing game. They have the Texans and Cardinals on the road, but then they have the Rams at home, who just got beat badly by the Bucs. And let's face it, the Falcons are a better passing offense than the Bucs. I mean, the Bucs, showed up. They were awesome, but the Falcons are better. Then they get the Seahawks at home. Then they have the Saints and the Panthers, division rivals. It's not a cupcake schedule, but it's not the hardest one either. Sanu is a good option who can regularly put up top 30 performances throughout the season, which, let's face it, that's what you're looking for in a waiver wire wide receiver. In a PPR league, he's the guy I'm taking this week. If you're looking more towards the long run, let's see what's going to happen in 4 or 5 weeks. Maybe you're going to lean towards A.J. Brown. But if you're looking for someone who you can maybe plug in the next couple weeks, I think Mohamed Sanu is going to be your guy. That is going to wrap it up for this week's episode of The Great Debate. Follow us on Twitter at SleeperWire Show. Mike is on there at DirtyJobs21. I'm on there, Prof_Chris SW. You can find us on the Sleeper app at Dirty Jobs and Professor Chris. And you can follow Mike and all the dirty jobs that he has to deal with on Instagram at Dirty Jobs. Thanks for listening, guys. Mike, thanks so much for being on the show. We'll catch you guys next time.